I hope you guys can see my screen.
Yes.
So, yeah. So it was basically that closing date should not be filled when it's new position or approve or there is none, right? So in that case, what I did is I just put like do not enter the closing date, and instead of just like the error location, I chose field which is closing date. And if I make any position like test closing day, and I choose the status as because pending approval we already have set, so pending approval, that's why I'm not selected. But if I say open approve and I try to fill certain date and I save it, so wait, one second. It was working yesterday. One second. Did I put open approve? Oh, I guess this or is not working. But if let me show you. Let me do an edit on status and let me save it as new position. And if I try to save, then it is not saving, and it is saying review the field, is closing date. So it's not basically allowing me to enter closing date. But yeah, so I did not check on this, Shan. So I guess this or is not working because there were multiple status.
Let's see. Okay. So first of all, go to your pick list value. Go to your object manager and position object, and then go to your status field.
Oh, okay.
Go to setup, object manager, and position object. Yeah, fields and relationship.
And the pick list, right?
Status, yeah. That is the name of the field is status. So scroll down, please. Okay. So there is something written API name. So whenever you are using any formula, any validation rule, or any code, if you are referring to any pick list value or any custom field, then, or even standard field, then you need to use the API name. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So copy API name, open approve.
Open approve.
Yeah, use it in your formula first of all. That is the one validation which we do. Okay, now save it. Save that validation. Now check it. Refresh it. Refresh the page here.
Okay. So let me set to select open approve. And okay, yeah.
So you got it?
Yeah. I got
So why this was not giving? Because your API name and the value which you were using in your validation rule inside your formula, that was not matching.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Check the same for the other fields.
For others, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right. Here it is. Mhm. So new positions, I guess. A new position was fine. And so I did with this none. So is it needed or not needed? So like if we don't select anything, then there is this none.
Okay. Needed or not, the first thing is when I gave you the requirement, it was like the closing date should only be populated when the status is closed, filled, closed, not approved, or closed, cancelled. Right?
Right.
Now, sorry,
So yeah,
when
like
there is so
if there is like no status, then also in that case it should be there, right?
okay, no. So now put what I wanted to mandate that if the closing date, yeah, if closing date is there, the status must be your
Uh,
closed, any closed one. So just check
right.
it.
Yeah. So yeah, in this none case, like if no status is there, then we are able to put the closing date.
Okay,
So
and in this case, uh, just go to your status field and put the default value so that your none will not come, because whenever anyone is creating the position, that should come as new.
should I like edit?
Yeah, edit, use first value as default value. No, go up. No, not this one.
This
Cancel. No, where is values? Yeah, wait. Yeah, you have put default as new position, right?
yeah, but it's not showing, right? Like there is also none.
Why it is coming then? Anyways, what is the default value?
Default value is new position only.
Okay, yeah, then that's okay.
So this I can remove, right?
You can check. See, you can remove. The requirement is whenever someone is putting the closing date, the status must be either closed, cancelled, closed, filled, or closed, not approved. So now put your yeah. So if see what we want to achieve, if the status is closed, then closing date must be there. So put status as close something and without closing date, try to save it. Is it letting you set save? Yeah, and remove closing date. Yeah, it should not be saved. No, it's saving, right? So this is not as per our requirement. You got it. So whenever anyone is changing the status to closed, any closed, then he must provide closing dates. Okay? Or whenever someone is providing the closing date, the status must be closed.
Yeah, correct,
So why
Shan. But
so why it is not happening?
no, correct, Shan. But we should have like two validation in that case, right? Because we don't want a closing date if these three are there.
Yeah, so see, that's okay. So how many validation rule you are planning to have, that's okay. But the requirement is whenever any position is getting closed, then it must have closing date. Or if someone is providing the closing date, the status must be in closed one, any of the closed thing. Okay, you got my point?
Yeah.
So let's create the new validation rule. Hope others are also getting what we are trying to do. Guys, if you have any doubt or any query, do raise your hand, do speak up. We are simply discussing about the requirement that if the status is any of the closed, whether it's closed field, closed not approved, or closed cancelled, in that case, closing date is mandatory. The user must provide closing date. Or else, if someone is providing the closing date, then the status must be any of the closed one. Either it's closed not approved, closed cancelled, or closed field. That we are trying to achieve. So guys, you got it? What is the requirement and what we are trying to achieve? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, Shan.
Yeah,
What about
okay.
others?
Yeah, we here.
Yes, sir, got it.
Yeah, Rudolph?
Yes.
Okay, so you got what we need to do?
Yes, Shan.
Yeah. Others, can you please help her? What mistake she is doing? There are multiple mistakes which she is doing. Can anyone help her?
Oh, really? So is
Guys, please help her. Jerry, Rudolph, please help her. Tanu,
if my man checks whether the status of the value of picklist fees is equal to a string literal. So closing date is closed. Oh. Okay. One.
guys, what other mistakes she is doing?
Incorrect
Please help her.
parameter type for
String
functions.
literal should be in single quote.
So that's fine. That's correct. But there is other mistake which she is doing. Yeah. So close field value is of status field. Status is the pick list field,
Yes, sir.
but she is using closing date instead of that, right?
Yeah. I was in a hurry to do it. I guess.
So guys, you need to help each other, right?
Hmm.
You tell where she is doing wrong and what this means what she has done.
Yeah, so now it's not allowing me to save if the status is yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, it's not allowing if the closing date is not filled. It's not letting me save if the status is these three.
Okay, please plot your closing date. Even though it's not aligned. What happened?
This or
Guys,
this.
please help her. There is one small mistake which she has done, which needs to be rectified.
Return that. Mhm. Checks whether the value of the picklist field is equal to a string literal. If it is equal, then it should not, right? This this method will appear when error contained in the definition formula is true. The error message can either appear on the top or this is fine. No, it's not true. If we put is Shan, is it something to do with this just the validation that I created just now?
That you need to figure out. You have your friends. You can ask them to help you.
They're not talking.
Hey guys, please help her. She is in need of your help.
Wow. I can't think far.
If um, I just know that. Okay. Nothing to do with this only because this is the error message that's showing. Uh, closing data when status is closed. So I did closed field. Close field. Display your error message next to the field. If your validation rule check several fields, display the error message. It's not checking several fields, it's just checking one field. So that is, and we should use this, that is true. But in is
Guys,
pick
please
that.
help her.
Checks whether the value of a picklist field is equal to a string letter. Uh,
Okay, can you please tell me what's the requirement?
the requirement was that closing date should only be filled. Closing date should only be filled when the status is closed filled, not closed not approved, or closed cancelled.
Yeah, in other words, we can also say, we were saying that if the status is closed, not approved, closed, cancelled, or closed filled, then closing date must be filled, right? Closing date must be filled whenever the status is any of the closed status, right?
Right.
Now here, where you are saying that closing date must be filled, where is that logic? Where you are checking that whether the closing date is filled or not, where you are checking? You got it?
So is pick the
You are
the
putting
is
validation as of now for on validation, right?
yeah
Sorry, on
it's only
status, but there is
hmm,
no validation on closing date. right? You are asking user if the status is closed not filled, closed approved, or sorry, closed not approved, closed filled, whatever, then he must provide closing date. So closing date should not be blank, right?
Right. So, like, should it be like, and using the operator and in here?
You can use any operator. You are free to do so.
No, actually only or we should use. We should check on the or or the or the closing date is said checks whether the expression is blank and return it is blank. If expression is not blank, I guess checks whether expression is blank and return substitute expression if it is blank. Mm, mm, date. Checks whether expression is not. I'm trying, Shan, so don't judge me on this.
Guys, please help her. So we already
Checks whether
used
the
one
expression
function named is blank. So you need to use the same function here.
is blank.
Yes, we used is blank, right? Earlier. Yeah.
Oh, let me. Okay, it's not letting me save. If I write 14, it's letting me save.
You should be able to save it.
It's not allowing me to.
That means there is some issue in your validation tool.
Really. So,
Tanu, Jerry, Rudolph, Please help her.
Closed query, closed not approved, closed cancelled. That this part is fine. Or should I like put all this in one bracket or it does not make any sense?
You can try anything. You are free to do so.
Hello, Sonakshi.
Hmm?
Before is blank function, you will have to use AND operator. Maybe it will work.
And put all that in bracket.
Check syntax and save.
Okay, it's not allowed. If I say not approved, and if I fill any date and if I say, thanks, Anu. Right.
Yeah. So now
And
go and check all the conditions. Validate everything. I think it's working, right?
yeah, no, I checked, Shan. So I did like for not approved rate. So if I do for
Check for all
cancelled and
whether it's working
yeah,
or not. So remove the date, check it.
save, it's not saving. If I do it's saved, and I checked for the above two. So
Yeah. Click for new position and don't provide any date. And let's say so. When you are doing the unit testing, what is this? You have not entered closing date. Why it is saying you do not enter closing date?
uh
What is this?
but I'm not entering anything.
Yeah, you are not entering anything, but it is asking you do not enter. Now what needs to be done?
Oh, see?
Okay, go to your old validation tool and deactivate it. Go to your old validation tool and click on edit and deactivate it.
Oh, there.
So you have written multiple. Yeah, there is one active checkbox. Check, uncheck it. Yeah, active checkbox is there. Yeah, save it. Now check again. Refresh the page and check it.
So it's letting me save because we removed that validation, right?
So check all the condition again, all the things again.
So if we do for this, it is working. Now, if I remove this, it will not work with the status closed field. It needs a closing date, but after removing that validation, like pending approval, it will not work because anyways, pending approval position itself should not be created, but open approve, if I put a closing date, it will save because there is no condition on these two now, like new position and open approve.
Yeah, so you can build it because last one, when you were putting there, even without putting the closing date, it was not working, right? So you need to check it properly. What is wrong there? Guys, please help her.
Now in this case, we should put or I should use a should put it. So it's either this or this. No, actually, it should not be. No. So in this case, if it is new position or open approve, it should not allow me to put any value in the closing date. Right now, we are doing the check for new position and open approve. That is okay. But the closing date should be is blank or Salman, do you want to help? That's actually crazy. It was working fine. Let me check it just without it.
1 second. Choose blank value.
New position. This closing date. Huh. It's working. Let me test this. So delete. Let me create a new one. Testing day, and let me say that I do not fill in a closing date. I put new position and I save it, letting me save it, right? Now, if I fill in a closing date in new position, it should not allow me to save. This allowing me to save, so that's not working. Wait. Wait. New. Let's see. Date. Okay. It was inactive, so now I activated the validation. I do not give any closing date. I put the status as new position and I save it, and it is not letting me save. So that's not working. This is not working, guys.
Please help her, guys.
So is pick value is pick value, or what is it? It checks whether the value of the pick list field is equal to a string literal. So it checks whether it's new position. If it is, I guess we did this. Pretty sure that's not the other, but testing date, status, new position. So if the position is new position without a closing date, it let me save. If I put a closing date, then it should throw me an error. Okay. This was a space. New position with the closing date. It should throw me an error. It did. It did. Now, if I remove, it should let me save. It is not letting me save. Guys, please help. So I've put up this condition, which clearly is not working. I do not know if, like, for the previous closing date validation, we also checked with an operator on the closing date. if the value is blank or not. But in this case, it should be blank.
Yeah, that's what we were checking. We wanted to check, right?
Yeah, so it should be blank, right?
Correct.
And what's the operator, like what's the function that we can use to, oh, is null?
Is blank is always there to check whether the value is blank or not. We have is blank function for your for checking whether any field is blank or not.
Yes. So in this case, it should be blank. So again,
Yeah.
and it is this, and closing date is blank. Let me check. Window hit. So it's new position. It's not letting me see. Guys, you're not actually going to help me. Okay, look.
Tanu,
Sir, I don't know. I'm
Jerry,
also trying it.
others guys, please help her.
I don't know. That's why I'm quiet over here.
See, it doesn't mean, see, no one knows. You can give you any of your input. Okay. And at the end, I'll be there, right? So I want you guys to try. Okay, so what is the condition? The condition is if there is any new position other than closed position are there, then the user should not be able to put closing date. Correct?
Right.
So there is blank, which says whether any the field is blank or not.
Right.
And if we want to check whether it's filled, then we are going to use not operator. So where is your not? Go and use not. Check either not function or not operator.
In front of is blank.
Yes, correct. Then not function, go to not function.
Oh, not fun. Oh, it's a
Yeah, put your is blank, everything inside not. Yep. And change your or to and. Yeah, use it, save it. Refresh it and check it.
so in new position. If I'm putting the value, it's not letting me save. That's correct. But if I don't have a value, it is allowing me to save. It's working. It's working. If I put it on open approve, if I'm not putting, it's letting me save, which is working. If I put any value, it's not. Oh, what? Okay, it's not letting me save. So working. And if I put close not approved without the closing, it's not letting me save. Yeah, it working. If I save, it saves. Perfect. Thanks,
So
Sean.
guys, so you need to test it properly. So you need to check all the condition. Okay. And now you got how easy it is. Okay. Only, so I asked you guys to check all the functions over there, which you guys missed. That's why you were not able to get this not function over there, right? So I request you all to check all the functions in formula field, get some idea. The description is already written over there, and you can utilize them in your future requirements. Okay.
Yeah.
So guys, so far, any doubt, any query?
To me, no, I have to go back and then go through the the formula field and then know how I can use it.
Okay. Okay, so you can just try it out. It's very simple. And you can try multiple things over there. You can create your own validation rule if you feel anything should be, any validation should be provided. The user should be restricted on anything. You can provide that as well.
Okay.
Okay, then we are closing the class for today, and you guys can work on it. I'll share the recording um, in half an hour or something. The moment I receive it, I'll share it with you guys, and you guys can practice it and try to create more rules. Okay. And tomorrow, someone else is going to share the screen. So now she's not going to share the screen. So guys, be ready. I can ask any of you to share the screen. Okay.
Okay.
So be prepared for that. Okay, guys. Thank you. Bye. Take care.
Thank you, Sean. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.